played a lot of home games. You played a pretty tough schedule. Now you get into the stretch. You're at home a lot. Games people will expect you to win. What do you want to get out of this next one?
Well, you say that, but they gave me a tape of Mississippi Valley State against Georgia on 12-12. It wasn't on 12-12, it was on 11-12, but 12-12, which was late. They're up 6 with a minute to go and got robbed. You couldn't say how they lost the game. You would be embarrassed to say that that happened. They're playing Arkansas, it's tied at half. They're playing Indiana, it's tied at half. They played all road games against big-time opponents, and if we don't show, we'll get beat. Just how it is. They shoot it well enough, they're athletic enough. You know, Sean's done a good job with this team. As a matter of fact, they're running some dribble drive. So I can see traces of what he's trying to do. It's the basics of it, but I'm seeing that he's trying to run dribble drive. So, you know, I told them, I gave them the Georgia tape. Here, watch this tape before you walk in, because we all thought we just played the toughest non-conference schedule in the country. Is that right? All of them on the road. No one at the level we play does that. They all play all home games. Now we think we're playing this team, well, this is a win. You all thought it, I did too, until I watched the Georgia tape. Then I had that pit in my stomach. Like, oh my gosh, my guys are gonna think this team is and they're not, so.
It's always kind of like Oakland. You know, Oakland played some top level competition and then.
Yeah, but Oakland had a big guy. They're a little different. But you know what Oakland runs, don't you? What's the offense they run? They run the dribble drive. And you know who took him up there to do it? John Robick went in there and put it in for him. So 2 years ago, or last year, John went up and put it in. And, you know, Greg's a good friend of ours, and it was funny to see them run that stuff and get the last 2 plays were a skip pass, post up, and a pitch to a layup. And that finished the game off. So I don't know how we went down that road, but.
John, you've always talked about this semester break time, this month,
Yeah.
3 weeks, whatever it is. Your teams take a huge jump. Why is that? Why does that all happen so often?
Because it's all basketball. And I said, we'll go 3 days. What else do you have to do? What do you have to do? You got people to see? You got shopping? You got to hang out? No, I mean, you have nothing to do except basketball. So we'll go 2, 3 times a day. Now, we may have one of those sessions may be cerebral, one of them may be specifically for foul shooting, but we have no time element, and I can just coach basketball. So we get better. Now, this isn't the week because they're in finals. Our practices have been all under 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes, hour 40. They're in finals. They need to make sure that I'm not physically draining them. That's why they're here. So today's practice will be about the same, hour and 45 minutes.
Cal, about Alabama A&M's defense, what challenges do they present on defensively for you?
Well, they're athletic. They're long. They press. They'll do a little 2-2-1. They trap. They're active. What I saw when I watched the Indiana tape was they were like a step ahead of Indiana on a lot of fronts, and they got up on Indiana 6-8 points. And even in the end of the game, it was a 10-point game, 11-point game. So,
are you happy with where your guys are at right now at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean it's, you know, middle of December and we're playing like that. You know, we break down, we stop playing. We got freshmen. The game's in the balance. We'll take a bad shot. Why? My fault. No, stop. I didn't ask my fault. Why did you do that? It's the game-winning rebound, and you let the guy jump over your back and grab the ball. Can you explain? Well, I tried. Well, then I should be playing somebody else, because that's the game-winning rebound. You get that ball or you sit that bench. Stuff like, you know, we're not quite that will to win. We're not quite there, but I will say they're trying. The emphasis we've made is they don't talk, and none of them like to talk. Well, it's selfish. You don't like to talk, even though it'll help our team if you talk. You don't think you should have to because you don't like to. But you're not selfish. Okay. You have to explain that to all of us, but, you know, so now when you go out, you'll see us talking more. They're all trying to do what we're asking to do. We're not deep enough right now. It's a problem we have. I mean, we got to find a couple guys to play. You know, we got guys that have played, and when you do the plus minus, the minute they're in the game, we're down 70. Now, I'm not saying down 35 or 40. It's a 70-point drop. So now you got to say, well, how do we do this? How do we play that small lineup some? Because with the numbers prove that that's our best team. Even though Josh is playing really well, our smaller lineup has the best numbers. So how do we play that some? We have so many things to answer right now. Of all the teams in the country, I can't name a handful that have the upside of this team. We have upside. I mean, we're not, and I'm coaching them, so I know. But, you know, whether we'll all do this together and, you know, I don't feel like it today. Oh, so should we all take a day off? Or I mean, it's all stuff that the growing pains of having young guys and a new team.